guys, and welcome to the TBV show. Hopefully everybody is doing well. We are back with another show. Again, obviously this is the host, Liam. Bless up to you. Hopefully you guys are all doing good. And yeah, man, we are here with Francesco. Number one, bless up to you. And how are you, man? Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me, man. I'm good. I'm just enjoying the day. It was a little rainy before with a little bit of thunder going on here and there, but other than that, I'm doing well. Just trying to get ready for the upcoming semester. Getting ready to move in with the missus. So I got that I got to look forward to in about 10 days. And just, all good things slowly but surely coming along.
Nah, man, 100%. Everyone that's viewing this, you can see it says Tutacaccio Francesco. That is his channel. Please go and check it out. I will link it. All of the links will be in the description as well. So yeah, man. Let's actually start with the channel. Where and why? Let's go with why first. Why did you start the channel yourself?
So I basically started the channel because since I have a little bit more free time, if that's the best way to say it. Like I said, I got the upcoming college semester coming for me, in my master's program, because in a year when I graduate, I'm basically going to be transitioning into a new field. Currently was recently doing graphic design, and I'm trying to transition into teaching. So I figured since I have more free time while I'm doing my studies, I just figured why not make a channel. I've been brought on the Tutto Calcio show thanks to Gio, who I appreciate very much. I mean, I also appreciate my cousin reaching out to me to get me to be a part of the channel. And no, man, it's just it's a great way to talk with other community members in the footballing community. Just basically talking about our clubs. Talking about the season. I know the season's not live now, but I mean we got the Club World Cup coming going on right now. But I mean I'm just glad to be a part of a community where I can finally be able to talk just football in general, because I feel like in New York, especially Middletown, New York, there's not really many people in my town I could talk about it. Usually, I mean, no disrespect, but there's usually just like NBA fans and NFL fans. There's not really many fans in the football community. So it's no, I'm enjoying it so far. I'm still new to it. I'm still trying to learn my ways around. Adapt. So
yeah, no, 1,000, bro. I'm with you. It's still baby steps for your channel. I'm really excited to see where your channel's going to go. I really am. And that will actually go. That will be my next question. In a year's time, if you could predict where you would be, obviously we don't know where we're going to be in 2 days, let alone that. But like, what would you want the channel to be? Would you like it to be 100 subs? What would you like for you?
Listen, if I could get the channel within this year to 500 subs, I'll be happy. I'll be happy if I get to 500, because even if I had 500 or 500,000, I just want to be able to come onto the channel and just talk about Calcio. In the future, there's videos I plan to do, not even just Milan related, but just Serie A history related in general. Yeah. And that I wouldn't care, the sub count. It's just being able to, like I said, be able to come on and just talk football with the rest of the football community. That's really all I care about.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, bro. And that's why I started the Bayern View, to give Bayern Munich fans, a place to speak. And, again, why we're doing the TBV show now, man, just to, learn about other people, But yeah, man, we can, if you don't mind, can we go into like childhood? How was your childhood?
Childhood growing up? Italian household?
Yeah, what was that like?
Well, growing up as a kid, I, both parents emigrated from Italy to the United States. And my mother, she is hearing impaired. So it's very hard for her to communicate in certain ways. I don't know sign because there is some, she speaks Italian for the most part with some broken English. But she's ASL, so she's American Sign Language. And my father, he speaks, better English. There's nothing wrong with him, but same thing. He emigrated from Italy to the United States, and both hardworking. I get my work ethic and hard work ethic from them. There's a lot that I learned from them over the years. Growing up, it was a little bit difficult because, when you're growing up with immigrant parents, especially adapting to a new environment, it could be challenging. So, I mean, even though I was born here, my upbringing was very different from the average American kid's upbringing.
American. Yeah.
Usually you go into the lunchroom, you got these kids that have like ho-hos and Twinkies, and then you got me coming in with like the silverware, Stella D'Oro cookies, and espresso. Just the Italian, which listen, I wasn't complaining about. I enjoyed every second of it. You can't go wrong with Italian food. So, but no, it was an interesting upbringing for sure. But a lot of ups and downs, which I'm sure everyone goes through. So,
yeah. No, I'm with you. So, if I'm right by saying you were obviously born in America, New York.
Yeah.
Were you born in where you are? Yeah. What was it like growing up in New York?
Born in Middletown, New York. Yep. There's definitely interesting. I was grateful to grow up in a nice community. There's some nice people here. The people that I grew up with, unfortunately, a lot of them don't live here anymore. But I mean, that's part of life, right? Sometimes, unfortunately, we can't always stick together for the rest of our lives. That's even with some family members. We can't always see each other all the time. So
yeah, no, I'm with you 100. What was the school like? Because I know that the schools are like a bit different, aren't they, from like the UK to America?
Yes, I mean American schools. I went through the typical, K through 12. I had to get extra help in certain areas because when you're at an immigrant household, learning two languages practically, it can be a little bit tough trying to pick up as quickly as the other kids were. But and it's also because I wasn't taking school seriously for some of the part. But then I was able to begin taking school a lot more seriously when like middle school came around with 7th grade and 8th grade. I really started taking school seriously. I was the first one in my family to be able to go to college and complete college. And, that says a lot because I had a lot of doubters in my family and friends-wise. I had a lot of doubters that didn't think I was going to be able to make it, but I was able to get to where I'm at today, which I'm very grateful for. I had a lot of support over the years, and I'm very grateful for it. So.
Yeah, no, 1,000, bro. And that's amazing in itself, isn't it? To be the first to do that, you know what I mean? If I was to ask you what your best childhood memory is, what would you say?
Watching my team win the Champions League final in 2007, man. That was my favorite, one of my favorites. I wish we could go back and I wish Milan was still a good team, but unfortunately, listen, every good team goes through their droughts. I mean, look at Man United. Look at that team, man. I know that they've had a bit of success here and there over the years, but you want to talk about droughts.
Yeah.
But I would say that was definitely one of my favorite childhood memories. But my real favorite childhood memory was watching Italy win that World Cup in 2006, man. That was special.
So when was the Champions League? 2007?
Yeah, that was 2007.
What? So you went back to back, basically.
Pretty much, I mean, with Italy, here's the thing. Like, I was still fresh into the footballing world because I started watching in 2004. So I didn't know how good and legendary these players were until later on down the years. But watching that Italy team throughout that entire tournament was it was unbelievable. To be able to go the entire tournament without conceding not that many goals from open play. The only time they got scored on, I think, if I'm not mistaken, was in the final against Zidane when they were playing France. And I think from an own goal, which an Italian defender, Zaccardo, put into his own net when they played the United States of America. I think those were the only few times that they were – because watching that team play was remarkable. From the defenders to the goalie to the midfield to the attack, they just had a stellar team.
So what age were you? So you start what age were you when you started watching football? So you said 2004. How old were you then?
So I was in 3rd grade. So I think about 8 years old, I believe. I was in 3rd grade. Yeah.
Okay. So what, you would have been, what, 11? Am I right by saying when you
Well,
watched Italy win?
oh, you're talking about the Champions League win?
Yeah.
I was in middle school when I was heading into. Yep, I was 11 years old.
Damn.
I know. It was a great childhood. The childhood just started great, and then later now, fast forward into now, I don't know what's going on, man. I don't know what happened. It is
Yeah,
what it
you
is.
kind of. Yeah.
Unless another Berlusconi could come along, I don't know.
Nah, I understand what you're saying, and that's the thing, isn't it? Like, like there's that whole thing of like, I don't want to grow up. I don't want to grow up. For you, it's like, I really don't want to grow up. I just watched Italy win the World Cup. I just watched Milan win the Champions League.
Yeah,
I got to you.
Those are the 2 best years of my life, man.
Yeah, no, 1,000. What did you think of the Euro win then?
Oh, the Euro? Here's the thing. The Euro win, it was a special way that Italy won it because you got to think about it. When they went into that tournament, nobody expected Italy to win. I think it was like they expected England or they expected France. Which, with all due respect to Italy, it makes sense. England's got some strong players and France has some strong players, and you could also count for Spain.
Yeah.
But it was just the way Italy played throughout that entire tournament. They played in such good unison that bless you, bud. But they played in such good unison throughout that entire tournament that it would be comical to say that they didn't deserve to win the trophy. And not to mention, they went into England's house at their stadium in the final and basically won the game and the cup in front of the English fans on home soil. It's like, granted, England started off strong in that game, but I just knew throughout the entire course of that game that Italy was going to come back. I was like, it's not over yet. I believe Italy's going to try to come back. And as soon as that I was saying things like that to, like, I think my cousin and my aunt that was watching the game, Italy just kept pounding them and pounding them and pounding them, like attack after attack. Jordan Pickford was crapping his pants. I don't know if you saw him complaining. He was always like talking to the defense. I was like, yeah, this guy's scared. He's scared because he knows Italy's coming after that 1-1 equalizer, and sure enough, it eventually happened. I will admit, there was some foul play, from Chiellini's part, but listen, in football, you gotta do what you gotta do to win, man. You gotta do what you gotta do.
I've recently seen an interview of him speaking about that, and he's like, I thought he was going to go this way. He went that way. That was the only thing I could do. You know what I mean? So I got off lucky. I got off lucky not to get more of a discipline. But yeah, no, that in itself, that was like picking up a teddy bear. You know what I mean?
Oh my god, man! I felt bad. But at the same time, I was dying laughing. I was just like, listen, you gotta do what you got. He knows that Saka's faster than him, so he had no choice.
Yeah. But yeah, man. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Certainly, got to take that risk. How did you become a Milan fan then, mate?
So basically, when I started watching in 2004, I mean, I said it in my first video, and I'll say it again. I'll try to say it as accurately as possible. Basically how I said it in my first video. So I had family who came over, who from time to time comes over from Italy to America. That time, they came in 2004, which was Christmas time, and they were wearing replica Milan jerseys. So the replica jersey that they were wearing was similar to the one that I had on in the first video, except, it was like those one-offs, like those things that you get at like your local flea market, and which is understandable because, where my family comes from, it's in the South. So there's not really a lot of money that flows around the South. It's hard times down there. So it makes sense why they have those jerseys, but they're still going to represent the team. So they were wearing those, and there was a Milan game on. I just don't remember which one it was. So they were telling me about the team. They told me about, why they supported the club. And it made me want to support the club, which was the player that was playing on Milan at the time, which was Gennaro Gattuso. And he represents where we come from, Calabria. And ever since then, like I wanted to get into it more and more. I started watching more Milan games. I watched more Gattuso.
Yep.
And again, I did not know Milan was this like really good team at the time. I did not know. I didn't know. But as the years went on, I look back at it, I'm like, oh my god, these guys are actually really good players. Looking back. So from there, I just watched Serie A lot more. I would go to my uncle's house, watch the games with him. My uncle's a Juventus fan. Obviously, he would bust my chops because I was a Lyon fan. So that's what we do in our family. It is what it is. And yeah, I just fell in love with the team ever since. I've been watching the games for that long, and I just haven't looked back. Even through the banter era years, I still supported the team. We suck. It is what it is.
And that's the thing, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
From what I get from, and this is just obviously my opinion on you guys, but obviously I speak to you quite frequently. I speak to Gio every day, and like obviously you're both Americans, but the Italian and the camaraderie, I believe is how you say it. Like you're very loyal. So obviously in football you're supposed to only be a one club person anyway. But like I get that, bro. Like if Bayern, I know it's hard to say because Bayern haven't gone for a bad era, but because we won 11 in a row. But for instance, if we were to go 11 in a row without a trophy, I'd still be a Bayern fan. Some people would have their opinion, where it's like, no, you wouldn't. But like,
exactly. Like even if your team goes through a massive trophy drought, you still got to back your team because you're not really a loyal fan if you don't support your team through their bad years and you only just support them through their good years. You know what I mean? Like if I really wanted to, if I was a bandwagon, after Milan started struggling, like when they started in 2013 or 2014, I would have supported a different team. But no, I kept supporting them. You know what I mean? So I was like, okay, yeah, we might have Keisuke Honda, Jeremy Jimenez, even though he's not the same player he was at PSG, and Alex, even though he's not the same player like he was at Chelsea. But I'm still going to support them. You know what I mean? I'm not just going to stop supporting them. So yeah. I completely get where you're coming from.
Nah, 1,000, and that's the thing, isn't it? It's that's the whole point. You know what I mean? Is that you would be able to tell me this? I know that obviously over in the US they call it soccer and whatever, but like, is that like is that the same with like baseball, basketball, NFL? Is that the same, or do people swap and change?
I think from what I've heard, people tend to swap and change, and it's not because of the team. I think it's because of the player. Like I know a lot of I know people because I'm sure you've heard of LeBron James. So whenever LeBron James changes to a team, the fans would tend to follow him.
Where he goes.
Go where he goes. And I always would call my one friend out who watches. I don't watch NBA. I try to. I can't get into it, man. I tried to do it. But I would always call him out and I'd be like, yo, you're a bandwagon. He's like, no, I'm not. I'm like, dude, any team LeBron James goes to, you support that team. You always support the team that he goes. Just you're not a fan of the team. Just say you're a LeBron fan. I would respect it. Just say you're a LeBron fan. You know what I mean? Yeah. That probably, and then that's what. To be fair, even if Gattuso left the team, I still would have supported Milan. No, what am I talking about? Because, like I said, that's the player that made me fall in love with the club, Gattuso. It's because he relates to my family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The guy is a perfect example of how my family behaves today. Crazy, always flipping out, getting into fights with people. It's a southern thing in Italy. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. And that's one thing, isn't it? It's the same with me with Robin. Like Robin was the reason why I fell in love with Bayern as a whole. You know what I mean? Otherwise, maybe if I watched football in a totally different time, then I would be a Chelsea fan or a Real Madrid fan. But the fact that he was there at that time, he made me fall in love with the club. So I relate to what you're saying. Why you're a AC Milan fan? Have you been to the San Siro?
So next year, when after my fiance and I's wedding, we plan to go to Italy,
Okay.
and part of the trip is to go to Milan, and I do want to buy tickets to go see a Milan game because I would love
So
to go to San Siro.
have you been to the stadium?
No, never
No.
been there, man.
So that's still like one of your dreams to
Oh,
go and see
absolutely.
the sun.
Especially hearing the fact that they might tear it down, which I
Yeah,
get
yeah,
it because it's not in the greatest conditions right now. I don't know if you've seen it from the outside. It looks like it's about to collapse. Um, I would still love to have an opportunity to go see,
to go and see
a
it. Yeah.
Milan game at the Sunset. Oh, absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, and that's the thing, isn't it? Like, again, you said you watched it from 2004, so like that's a long ass time to be a fan. If I'm right by saying that's 21 years,
Yeah,
if I
man.
could do maths, you know what I mean? So yeah, man.
Even though Dom tries to bust my chops and say that I watched the Champions League in second grade, I'm like, brother, how can I be in second grade if I was 11 years old in 2007? How does it make any sense?
Just prodding those buttons.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I mean. He's like the bigger brother who tries to
Yeah.
push your buttons. No, I love Dom, man. I love him.
No, yeah, no, I get it. Man.
I love him,
I
man.
get it, bro.
He's good people.
It's just the banter aspect of the football game.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm sure, to be fair, if you were back to where you were, you'd be doing the exact same thing to him if he was shit. So,
Oh,
you know,
yeah. 1,000%.
that just is what it is. So yeah, man, that's going to be crazy for you to go and see. Like, what do you think? This is a bit of a weird question, but what do you think you're going to be feeling like when you go to that? Like, you think you're going to have goosebumps and everything? So I know when I went to the Allianz Arena, I did. So that's why I'm saying it. Like, and obviously that place has more history in that sense, doesn't it? Because it's a bit. I
No,
want
it
to say
does.
it's a bit longer.
It's just I 1,000% I would have goosebumps. My uncle, who's not even a Milan fan, he's a Juventus fan, had the opportunity to go see a Milan game in 2012 at San Siro. This, I think, when they beat Lazio 3-0, and he saw the game live. And he did tell me, he's like, I will warn you that if you do ever go, don't go to the bathroom because their sewage systems is not the greatest. Uh, so that's what he told me. But the fact, and I think about it, I'm like, yo, this guy went to go see a game and I haven't gone to see yet. Like, what the hell am I doing? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's not even a Milan fan. He's a Juve fan.
No, I get it, man. I get it. I understand it, bro. And that's like thinking about that's gonna be crazy. Especially if you
Yeah.
go see like the museum as well. You know, with the Champions League
Oh, man.
titles and so on. Yeah,
Because you're walking into history, man. You got players that have played there who still get talked about to this day.
to this day,
Your Ruud Hullets. I didn't get to ever watch those guys, and I would trade anything to be able to have an opportunity to watch what those guys did from a live perspective. You got your Ruud Hullets, your Van Bastens, your Rijkaards, your Desai, all those guys. Maldini when he was younger. I saw Maldini in his last few years, and he was still good then, but just to be able to, and Baresi, all those guys, that's a lot of history you're walking into over there. It's probably the same thing with Bayern. You walk into Allianz Arena, you walking through that museum, there's history there, man. That's a lot of history.
Yeah. No, 1,000%. Like, and it's actually quite funny. So the day that we're recording this pod is the 4th of July for me. We're going next month. We're going to Germany again. So, and I'm going to be going to watch a game in the Allianz Arena. I'm going to the museum again. It's going to be amazing. And to be fair,
I expect to see some pictures, man. I want to see some pictures.
Bro, don't think about pictures, bro. There's going to be videos. Because that's a picture can tell so many things, man. A video, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's memories in itself. And to be honest, I got to give the shout out to the people because I'm paying to get there with the YouTube money. So bless up to everybody. Honestly, I appreciate it. But anyway, screw me. Pause. Let's get back into talk about you, because this is about you. So, who is your favorite ever Milan player other than Gattuso? Because I know that's the guy that got you into Milan.
I was gonna say, I already said it, man.
You already said it.
No. I definitely having the pleasure to watch Kaká. Pirlo was another one. He was definitely another one. Pirlo. I mean, Gattuso was basically his pit bull. Go get the ball, give it to him, and watch Pirlo do his magic. That's basically how Ancelotti played those two in the midfield. Seedorf was another one. Pippo Inzaghi, that's what people refer to him as, or his real name is Filippo Inzaghi. Simone Inzaghi's brother.
Yes.
And, there's so many. Dida, he's another one. Nesta, there's just so many, man. There's so many. They were all good. And, I wish to see, the team today, they have the potential to see or to get to where they can get to if they can start playing seriously again. Like, I know I crap on Leao a lot and I crap on Theo Hernandez a lot, but there was a lot of favorite players that I watched, but definitely Kaká, Gattuso, Seedorf, Pirlo, Dida. There was a lot, man. I can't name a single one because there was so many. So many.
Yeah. Did you watch Ronaldinho play for? Yeah.
I did.
What was that like?
He was good. So here's the thing. His first season, he was okay, but he wasn't like the focal point of the attack. When Kaká left to Real Madrid and Ronaldinho was still there, he actually had a good season in 2009, 2010. And of course, Inter. That Inter team was amazing. That season they went on to win the trophy. So Ronaldinho, he recorded some decent stats alongside for Milan. But he was good, man. See him do his like little magical tricks. I know he wasn't the same Ronaldinho that he was when he was in his prime, but just to be able to see a player like Ronaldinho playing for your club, that's an honor, man. It's truly an honor.
Yeah. No. Just thinking of that, it's just like nuts. You know what I mean? Like, and it's so crazy on him as a whole, because like if you were to, and again I know that was the time, but if you were to take alcohol, drugs, and partying away from him, I generally think he could have been the greatest player of all time. I really do.
Right. And what was crazy was he was partying, like you just said, he was partying, taking drugs, doing all this stuff, but yet he still had an impact on the field and was still able to help the team win games. Of course, that's why Pep Guardiola got rid of him. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because as soon as Pep walked into Barca, he was like, yo, this guy's got to go. But there's a famous quote from Allegri on Ronaldinho's final season at Milan when they went to win the 18th league title. And he was just like, Ronaldinho used to piss me off. This guy would show up late to practice. He would show up late from partying, the night before at the nightclub. And I guess there was one day where he showed up on time. And he was just like, yo, we got to sell this guy. He's like, why, man? He showed up on time. He's like, yeah, he showed up on time, but he's still drunk or like something like that. So
still intoxicated.
He's still intoxicated.
Yeah, that's.
I think that's what the quote is. I could be wrong, but I think that's what the quote is.
Yeah.
But just Ronaldinho, he was good. Beckham, I liked Beckham when he was there. I liked Beckham, even though the only reason why he would go there is because the MLS ended, and he wanted to keep playing, I guess. So he chose Milan, which he did not too bad himself when he came to Milan.
So if I'm right by saying, so he was at Man United, went to Real Madrid. Where did he go from Real Madrid? LA Galaxy.
He went to LA Galaxy, because MLS, when they do their season, it's at the start of the year, I think in like March, and it ends in like November or December, like around that time, like November. So for a few months, he wanted to keep playing. So that's why obviously in January, when January came around, he would do like a 6-month loan spell, come to Italy. He played for Milan. And then after his loan spell, he went back to Los Angeles.
And then after that, from what I said, it went to PSG, didn't he?
Yeah, he did the 1 year at PSG, and then because I think that like PSG was like the new, it's like the new trendy thing to do. Like every player was going there.
Yeah, yeah. So what was Zlatan like for you?
Man, Zlatan, when he first came in 2010, immediately he was an effective player in a Allegri system when he first came. Um, Very a key player. He scored the important goals in the important games. Uh, and in the second time he came around, you know, when he said at first, "Oh, I'm going to bring this team back to a league title," I was just like, yeah, "Okay, there's no way." I mean, the state we're in right now, there's no way. But hey, he's a man of his word because a few years later, look what happened. So he was able to take that team to Scudetto title against a really strong Inter team. So I like Zlatan. He was a very powerful forward, and it pains me to see that Milan can't find number nines like that anymore. I hope Santiago Jimenez can be that lethal number nine, like how Ibrahimovic was and Zaghi was. But you know, you don't find number nines like that anymore. Like it's
Yeah,
it's like with Lewandowski with Bayern. You know what I mean? How many
yeah.
number nines can you find like that?
I think the generation of football is like just totally changed. Obviously, social media is a massive, massive point,
Yeah.
of course, but like you know, even just in the game as a whole, like VAR and all of the referees making it about themselves and so on. Like, I know that there has been scandals, with Barcelona, with the Italian teams. I'm sure with other teams as well. But
Oh yeah.
like, just Gattuso, Roy Keane, players like Matthias, they would not have made it in this day and age because they would just been getting red carded all the time. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah.
like the amount of tackles, the fighting, the pushing around. Like you think that Gattuso was going to take any flack from the referee these days? No, he would have punched him straight in the
Yo,
mouth.
Gattuso, he gets red carded on the sideline. The guy. Imagine him playing.
Exactly. Like, yeah, the game's gone soft in my opinion. We still love it and we always will, but
Right.
gone in the days where Roy Keane can kick someone in the leg. You know what I mean?
No,
Yeah.
exactly. I just also feel like in today's age of football,
Yeah.
we we just don't. You know how usually you see your players like Lam, Paolo Maldini, like all the Del Piero, they're like that one. Francesco Totti for Roma, like those guys that have been playing for just basically one team their entire career. There's no loyalty in the sport anymore. It's just mainly about money. Like, listen, I understand. You got to do whatever it is you can to live the best life possible, especially when a football player is trying to get the best paycheck possible. But I just feel like the entirety of the sport is just about money now. It's no longer about just the sport itself, trying to be, just competing for the best trophies possible in the old school ways of doing it, like how players would all just band together into one team and stick together for a multitude of years. Like that's how it was for United. That's how it was for Milan. That's how it was for. I'm sure that's how it was for Bayern. I'll be honest. I don't watch much Bundesliga, but I'm sure in the last 15 years, that's how Bayern was. That's how when they had Lahm, Schweinsteiger, all those guys. You just don't see that in football anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's all to do with social media. Like, again, it's a good thing and a bad thing, because now it's all about like you hear these days. Like my brother is 10 years old. Not so long ago, he was telling me that Ronaldo has 500 million followers on Instagram. Like, do you imagine in your day someone coming up to you, "Yo, Francesco, this guy's got this many"? Like, no, like it's just not. That just wouldn't have happened. Speaking of Milan, though, so from what I was saying, let's say it again, 2006, they won the World Cup, from what I was saying.
Italy won the World Cup in 06, yeah.
And then 2007, you won the Champions League, right?
Yeah. Even though technically, if it wasn't for a certain court ruling during the 2006 Calciopoli scandal, which I'll admit Milan was a part of. But Juventus they did the worst damage with that. Technically, Milan was not supposed to be in the competition that year. But I guess they did some sort of appeal, and they were able to compete in the Champions League. So we would have never seen Milan win the Champions League if it wasn't for that appeal. I could be wrong on this, but I'm pretty sure that's what I saw or what I researched.
Yeah.
But
so what would your opinion be of 2005, the game?
The UEFA final.
Super young. Yeah, you were super young.
I don't remember that game, man. I was super young, man. I don't know. But obviously, looking back at it, because I don't even think I remember watching the game. But looking back at it, it does hurt to lose a game like that. It really does hurt. You're up 3-0 at halftime, and to give up 3 goals to Liverpool like that's a bit painful. You know what I mean? But I always say it doesn't matter because Milan got their revenge 2 years later against Liverpool, so it's okay. But no, it's still a painful way to lose. But that's all been put under the water because we just saw Inter embarrass themselves 5-0 against PSG. So put under the water. I always bust my friends who are Inter fans. I bust their chops, and I'm just like, listen, man, you guys just set a record for the wrong reasons. You're losing 5-0. And I don't ever want to hear you Inter fans roast Milan for losing the Champions League final in 2005 ever again. Because what you guys just did, that was embarrassing, bro.
Yeah, only thing I can really say is, obviously I'm super young myself. So, I've seen, the highlights of it, but obviously I was obviously alive, but I got a difficult super duper late as it is. So, that just is what it is. But for you personally, and obviously us males, men, whatever you want to call us, are very prideful anyway. What does it mean for you personally, to be a Milan fan, in your opinion? Pridefully, what?
Personally, be a Milan fan. I mean, just supporting the club in the best way possible. Just supporting the heritage of the team, the history of the team. I'm from the South, and technically you're supposed to support where you're from. That's usually how the rule is supposed to be in Italy. But the thing is, I fell in love with the club because of the player that came from where I come from. You know what I mean? Otherwise, I'd be supporting Catanzaro Lido, which is where we're from in Calabria. But for me, it's just to be able to support this team, the heritage behind it. And this is football and royalty over here, man. I just couldn't see myself supporting another club than Milan. I as soon as I saw watching Milan and watching Gattuso, I fell in love with the team right away. I just, when you watch something and you know that you like to watch what it is you're doing. It's like playing video games. There's that one video game that you keep playing, that you've been playing since you were a kid, and you can't stop playing it. That's kind of how it is for me with Milan. As soon as I fell in love with the club, I can't stop supporting the club. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I understand you. Now, I'm going to ask you this question, right? And I don't know if you know. I'm sure you will. Is there a reason you've got the St. George's Cross in your badge?
Is there a reason for this?
Yeah. Do you know where you've got that?
So I'm pretty sure. I mean, don't quote me on this, but technically, when Milan was first founded, I'm pretty sure it was founded as a cricket club in England. They were founded in England, so we have to thank the English technically for the founding of Milan. They were founded as a cricket club, and I think eventually they evolved into becoming an Italian team. And I don't know if this was Inter or if this was Milan, but Milan, I think, strictly just wanted to become a team with Italians. Inter, on the other hand, the reason why they became Internazionale was because there was a little argument that happened, I think, at a dinner table or something, and they wanted to bring in players from an international standpoint from other countries. So then ever since that happened, Inter was formed. Then again, I could be wrong in this. I think this is some of the basic research that I did some research on. So, but I pretty sure that's why this cross is in here was because the guy who founded the club was from England. So, but I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I just googled it, and it says it was originally the flag of Saint Ambrose. Did I say it? The patron saint of Milan, and was later adopted by the city. Well, the flag is similar to the English Saint George's cross. It basically just says that's why. So, okay, interesting. Because I know that Barcelona have got something. They've got they had an Englishman that was one of the people that like founded their club. So that's why they have it as well. That's what I was wondering. One thing I do want to know. What is one player you signed and you were like the most excited for?
The one player I signed that I was most excited for?
Yeah, AC Milan signed. Yeah.
I mean, if there was one player, I was definitely excited about Ronaldinho when he signed back in 2008. Because I mean, listen, man, Ronaldinho. Yeah, I get it. He was on a downfall of his career.
Yeah.
But this is Ronaldinho you're talking about.
It was still Ronaldinho, yeah.
It was still Ronaldinho, man. All the things that this guy did on the field, the tricks, the passing ability, the dribbling, the pace, his goal scoring ability. You couldn't. He was a player you could not dislike. You know what I mean? I think he was one of the few players you couldn't dislike the guy. Even with the drugs and the alcohol. So I was really excited when they signed him in 2008.
What about a player that they signed that like flopped, in your opinion?
Player that they signed that flopped. Well, we could definitely go through the banter a little bit. I mean, Fernando Torres was one. He was supposed to be like the new number 9 that came in, or that would try to revamp the team, which I had a feeling wasn't going to happen because, if you're signing a player for free, it's usually not a good sign. Another player that flopped drastically, even though he was technically Liverpool's quote-unquote hero, was Divock Origi a few years ago. He played a few games, but he did so bad in terms of just not being even put on the first team sheet anymore that he got put in the Milan Futuro team, which is the youth team. That's in like Serie C or Serie B. And even the youth player was starting over him. So that's how bad he flopped.
Wow.
It was, dude. And you know how much we were paying him a year?
Oh, no.
Like $4.5 million. Yeah. So that just goes to show you right there. Another player that flopped for me, I mean, as much as I hate to say it, and I'm glad he's doing better now, Charles de Ketelaere. When he joined the team, there was a lot of high expectations, but unfortunately he didn't live up to those expectations. But it's good to see that under Atalanta, he's doing incredible. And then if I'm going to really go back further, who really is a big flop, even though there was a lot of high expectations for him, and he did do good for a little while. He did do good before the injuries. Alexandre Pato. Pato was supposed to be the next big thing for Milan. Mm-hmm. And when he first started, he was the next big thing. The problem was his injuries. His injuries really started to pick up. And then what really damaged his career was the injury that he suffered in 2010 when he pulled his hamstring really badly. That took him out for the rest of the season because when he came back, he scored a few goals here and there in the Scudetto winning season in 2011. But you could just tell that he was not the same player that he once was.
Yeah.
So he unfortunately flopped drastically. He started off good, but he flopped drastically over the years, unfortunately. Yeah. So, because you want to talk about fast strikers, Pato. If you ever just look up his Champions League goal against Barcelona in the 2011-2012 season, and you could, even after his hamstring injury, you could see how fast that guy was.
What about some players that you wish you would have signed?
some players that I wish I would have signed.
Obviously, everyone's going to say Cristiano or Messi, but like others.
I would. It would apparently back in 2010 there was supposed to be talks about signing Messi. I knew it wasn't going to happen because I'm like, bro, how are you going to sign Messi? There's no way you're going to sign Lionel Messi.
Yeah.
Because 100 mil at that time in 2010 was probably basically like 500 or 600 mil today. There's no way that you were going to sign him. But player that I really liked, Sergio Ramos would have been one. I would have signed Sergio Ramos. Because, listen, he's a dirty player, but he's a tough player that I would have had a pleasure to see him play on the team. Even though we got him now, Luka Modric, we got him now, but I would have preferred a younger.
Yeah.
Right. The prime version I would have preferred. But, hey, listen, it is what it is.
It is.
No, you get what you get. There was another player I wanted to sign. Schweinsteiger would have been another one. That would have been a perfect player to put on my team. Schweinsteiger. I got to go with Bayern. Philipp Lahm. That would have been a great player to have as a left back. If there was one player I would have picked, he would have been one player to pick to replace Cafu when Cafu finally retired for that right back slot, man. I would have definitely taken Philipp Lahm, man. But there's always this one player I wish that we would have signed that I believe Inter signed, and he still plays to this day on Inter, and Marcus Thuram, the striker for Inter.
Yep.
Even though he's struggling now, we were supposed to get him, but unfortunately Inter beat us to it and signed him instead. And then when he signed with Inter, look what happened. He took Inter on that wonderful run to the Scudetto title. And every time that Milan played Inter, that guy single-handedly embarrassed us during that season. So that definitely would have been a nice striker to sign because at that time, we really needed a striker. Yeah, we had Giroud, but he was getting up there in age. So we needed a new striker. And Thuram would have fit that bill alongside Leao and Pulisic very well.
Yeah. Thuram was actually deemed not good enough to play for Bayern when he left Mönchengladbach.
Really?
Which now when you look at it, it's like, oh, really? Okay, then. Like, what are you watching?
I don't know about that. I think he would have fit Bayern very well. He would have fit Bayern very well, man.
And he was one of the reasons that they scored 5 goals against us to knock us out of the DFB Cup. So, yeah, man. I'm going to go with some quick fire questions, and we'll get out of here soon. What's one thing that you regret buying?
Player-wise that I regret Milan buying?
Or just anything. So it could be like an Xbox, anything like.
One thing that I regret buying. Shoot. Oh, one thing I regret buying is gym equipment for the home because this was during COVID. And I still have it because in the future house I'm going to set it up. But I bought gym equipment because listen, it was COVID. We weren't allowed to go in the gym. And not even a week later, the governor of New York announced that gyms were being opened again. I'm just like, oh shit! I just spent $3,000. I just spent $3,000 on gym equipment, man.
Wow.
But I still have the equipment though, so I'm gonna use it for like the future house.
No. What's your biggest fear?
Spiders. Can't stand them, man.
Second that,
man.
I second that, man.
Spiders.
Yeah, me too, bro. You ain't gonna like this, bro. But the other day, I was sat here playing my boxing game. One ran over my leg, brother.
Oh my god, that's where you got to get the flamethrower and burn it down.
Yeah, 100. Like, yeah. No, I'm with you. I hate them as well. What's one thing you can't live without?
Phone, man. Can't live without it. I gotta have my phone on me all the time.
Nah, to be fair, I understand that one.
As much as I hate to say it, because I know today's day and age, you have to have it. Listen, you need this thing to do practically anything now. So without it, you're kind of a lost cause, and you're basically a dinosaur.
Yeah, in this day and age, you're right, 1,000.
Yeah.
you know, and it's not even necessarily just for scrolling, you know. I guarantee you text and ring the missus quite a lot on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, you wouldn't have known or be in your group chat with the catcher boys, catcher boys, which maybe would be a good thing in some sense.
Oh, yeah.
But
Oh, don't worry. Just, as much as we roast each other on that show, we roast each other in the chat, so it's no different.
Yeah.
It's no different,
Wow.
man.
Favorite food?
My favorite food, there's a lot of favorite Italian dishes, but if I had to choose one, I would go with tiramisu. It's one of my favorite Italian desserts. You know, it's basically a coffee flavored dessert. It's like a kind of like a cake. You know, it's got like a little bit of a
Yeah.
cookie and coffee cacao on the top. Oh, it tastes so good, man. It's really good.
It's got rum in it, right?
Yes, that's another ingredient. It's got rum in it.
Yeah. The missus absolutely loves that.
Yeah.
She's a chef, so yeah, she knows how to make it and everything. Yeah.
Oh, every time, especially when my mother makes it, because she makes really good tiramisu.
Yeah.
My fiance, she loves it, man. She's just like, because we're having a 4th of July party tomorrow, so she's like, please tell your mom to bring tiramisu. I was like, you got it, man, you got it.
Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah. Hey, listen, man. Once you get engaged, you're about to get married. That's the model you gotta live by, unfortunately. So
Yeah.
you're shackled, man. You're shackled.
What's one thing you're most grateful for?
Most grateful for him. Just, everyone around me. I'm grateful for them, especially family. You know, even though we clash heads and we've had our tough times. I still am appreciative. That they guided me to the right path of where I am today in life. So definitely appreciative for that.
What's one thing? I said the wrong thing. What is the legacy that you want to leave behind?
The legacy that I want to leave behind is basically, that's a good question. Wow, you got me good on that one. I guess just to everything possible for my future family, just to set them up on the right path. Just leaving behind the legacy. That kind of legacy for my family, just making sure that they're well. Same thing with my father. My father, he's leaving a lot behind for me and my brothers. I want to do the same thing for my future family too.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. What's one hobby you're passionate about?
What we do now, just being able to watch culture, man. It's just one of my favorite hobbies. I've been doing this since I was a kid. I still do it today. I watch it all the time. That's why in the summer it gets boring, man. When your team's not competing or your team gets boring, man. You're sitting in your chair. You don't know what to do.
No, well, gazillion%. Like,
yeah,
I can sit here and talk about transfers all the time, but half the rumors ain't even true.
I know.
So,
man.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, this player. It's like, are any of these actually going to happen? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How do you handle failure?
I mean, back in the day, I used to take it very personally, but nowadays I just look at it as like a learning experience to try to see how I can just improve on it and be better at it next time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I can edit it out. It's absolutely fine, man. No worries. I was going to ask the favorite sporting memory. You've already done that one. How do you stay motivated?
How do I stay motivated?
Because like men's mental health is definitely a thing. So like,
It is.
How do you stay like sane, if you want to say,
I mean,
motivated?
I always wake up, even if I feel like I'm having a bad day myself, or if I feel like I'm in a really crappy situation, I always think about it to myself and say, you know what? There's, as much as I hate to say this, there's people in the world that are in worse situations than me. So I'm very grateful to be where I'm at. And I need to use this as like a motivation factor to be like, you know what I'm doing is working. Let's just keep doing what I'm doing right now. And, just appreciate the fact that I'm grateful for where I'm at in life. So I guess you could say like that's one thing that I could use as like a motivation factor.
Yeah. No, like that's one thing, isn't it? You've got to like sometimes take yourself out of your own body, if that makes any sense, and
Right.
look around and be like, right now, whatever I'm going through, yes, it's tough, yes, it's annoying and blah blah blah, whatever.
No,
But like,
exactly.
you know, there are people that like literally have no water. Like, I could
They have
go
no
over to
they
the
have no
tap and
food.
yeah,
They have
no
no
food, no
food.
water. I could go over to the tap right now and turn that on for half an hour, and it wouldn't matter. The bill might go up, but for me, it wouldn't matter. You know what I mean? Where
Yeah.
there's people that are drinking dirty water and it's got this and then that in it. So yeah, no, I agree with you on that.
No, and the same thing. Me and my missus, we try to do what we can to give back to the community too. There's a store down the road where we could be able to donate clothes. It's called Salvation Army, and we always, whenever we have clothes that we don't wear anymore, we just go over there and we just donate it to them because, I mean, it doesn't fit me anymore. I don't need it. Someone else could be using it. They need it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, we do the same with like with some of the stuff the clothes the missus wears, and like shoes and stuff. Like so, exactly that. Final question: if you could have a one-on-one conversation with one person, dead or alive, who would it be?
one-on-one conversation.
Yeah, one conversation with somebody, dead or alive.
I would say my nonno,
Okay.
or in Italian that means my grandfather, because
Yep.
I got to see him, in my early years when I was growing up as a kid. But he unfortunately passed away in 2003, and it would have been nice to be able to get to know him more. And that's why I try to hang out with my grandmother as much as I can, because you know every for everybody, the clock is always ticking. So you just have to cherish those moments with special people like that and be able to spend as much time with them as possible.
Yeah.
So it would definitely be him. Like I would have loved to have gotten to know him more, because I always hear great things about that guy all the time.
Yeah. I second that, man. I second that without a doubt. Family is so important, so important. You know what I mean, and it shapes you, into the
Yeah.
person that you are. So, but there we go, people. There we go. Hopefully you have enjoyed. If you have, please do smash like, hit the subscribe button. Again, check out Francesco like so, just here. Yeah, man. Thank you for coming on, bro.
Yeah. Sorry if I sound nervous. I'm still new to this.
Nah, man, it's absolutely fine, bro. It's absolutely fine. But yeah, man, big up people, and yeah, we're getting out of here. Peace.
Bye.